أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. This is a topic on importance and value of knowledge of Deen. Knowledge of Deen basically are three matters: the knowledge of Quran Sharif, the knowledge of Hadith Sharif, and knowledge of Masail. These three are the basic knowledge of Deen. And an example of knowledge is like food for the stomach and body, that we need to eat to sustain and maintain our body. If we do not eat for 3-4 days, then we become weak and probably even die away. In the same way, the knowledge of Deen is the food and nourishment for the heart. If the heart keeps receiving its nourishment in form of knowledge of Deen, in form of zikr of Allah Ta'ala, it stays fresh, it stays strong and healthy. And if the ruh does not achieve its nourishment and food, then slowly and slowly it dies away. And the recognition of ruh dying away is the person is alive, but is not at peace. He is in anxiety, he is in a state of pareshani. So that is a sign that his ruh is not at peace, is not receiving his nourishment and food. Just like a person, if he achieves his food on time, then he is comfortable and he is tranquil, peaceful. And if he does not receive his food one time, he may bear it, second time bear it, but with different difficulty. But if it occurs for 2-3 days, he does not have food for 2-3 days, then we can realize his anxiety and his uncomfort. So this is exactly same. Usually people complain, I'm pareshan, I'm not at sukoon, my heart is not at peace. And we ask him, what's the matter? You don't have food to eat? He will say, I have plenty of food. If you have not money to spend, he will say, I have plenty of money to spend. I have clothes, house, car, everything. But I don't know. I am not at peace. My heart is not at peace. The reason being, the body is receiving its need, but the ruh is not receiving its need in form of zikr of Allah Ta'ala, form of knowledge of Deen. So because of that, the pareshani is there and the anxiety is there. So if a person receives the whole world, but the ruh does not receive its nourishment, he will not become peaceful, he will not become satisfied. This is the case with most people. They complain, I'm in anxiety, I'm in a depression, I'm in a stress, I'm not comfortable. And we asked, what's the matter? He said, I don't know. The matter being the pareshani and depression and anxiety, they are in the heart, and because of the heart not receiving its food and nourishment, this is a state of the most of the people. So nevertheless, Alhamdulillah, Allah has given us a chance to acquire knowledge of Deen in form of Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif, and the Masails of Deen. So this is the nourishment food for the heart. We can notice when we engage in learning Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif, we forget everything. We forget, even when we are ill, we forget it because our heart is achieving its nourishment. But when it finishes, and the outside factor starts to come upon a person, and then he feels anxiety, he feels the stress and depression, so that being a reason. And the importance of knowledge, the author mentions it by mentioning the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. He is such a great prophet that Allah Ta'ala used to talk with Musa alayhi salam. وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. If you look in Quran Sharif, that's a speciality of Musa alayhi salam, that most of the time Allah will converse and speak with him directly, Musa alayhi salam would listen and he would speak back. So even being such a great prophet, when he came to learn, there is someone who knows more than him, he became eager, he became interested and made a request to Allah Ta'ala, Ya Allah, I want to see him, I want to meet that person. Allah Ta'ala did not also stop him by, why do you need to go? I send my wahi upon you, I speak with you. Allah Ta'ala also gave permission to Musa alayhi salam. So this shows the value of knowledge in sight of Allah Ta'ala and in sight of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. So it is something to make us eager concerning knowledge of Deen. And usually for acquired knowledge of Deen, one has to come out of his house. He has to make a journey. This is Musa alayhi salam. He came out from his people and he traveled and he found that person, and then through him Musa alayhi salam learned some amazing matters which Musa alayhi salam did not know. So nevertheless, it's a lesson for us that to acquire knowledge, usually a person has to come out of his house and he has to bear some. Alhamdulillah, nowadays the student doesn't have to bear much. He's provided with food, all the facilities, bedroom, toilet, showers, bed, everything. But even then, he has to bear something for the sake of knowledge. The more person is prepared to bear and more engage himself in acquiring knowledge, the greater his knowledge, the benefit of that knowledge. So it is a story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam and Khidr alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam made a journey and went to see Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam. And he met Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam on a seashore, on a beach. He was alone, lying down, and he was in such a state. Musa alayhi salam went to him and made a request. Musa alayhi salam ne unko salam kiya. So Musa, he found him lying down, covered himself with a shawl. Musa alayhi salam made salam to him. Khidr alayhi salam ne kaha, is zameen mein salam kahan se aa gaya? Because there was no one there except Khidr alayhi salam. There was no population there. There were no people living there. He was alone. So when somebody made salam to him, he became surprised and said, how come a salam on this land? Meaning there is no other human being here. How come somebody found a way here? So because Allah showed Musa alayhi salam the way, because of that he managed to reach there. Otherwise nobody would go there. Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam used to live in such a privacy and such a seclusion. Musa alayhi salam ne kaha कि मैं हूँ Musa. So Musa alayhi salam introduced himself. He said, I'm Musa. Khidr alayhi salam ne kaha, क्या बनी Israel वाले Musa? So Khidr alayhi salam asked, Musa of Bani Israel, who is a prophet in Bani Israel, is that Musa? Musa alayhi salam ne kaha, ji haan. Musa replied, yes, I am the Musa who is made prophet, messenger for Bani Israel. So look at his state, how great a prophet he is. But still, to acquire more knowledge, he traveled, he made a journey and went out from his people. Khidr alayhi salam ने कहा, हाँ मैं तुम्हारे पास इसलिए आया हूँ कि जो अच्छा इल्म तुमको अल्लाह ताला ने अता किया है उसमें से कुछ मुझको भी सिखा दो. So he made the request, I have come to you to acquire the beneficial knowledge which Allah has taught to you, that you may teach it to me. For that I have come to you. Khidr alayhi salam ने कहा, आप मेरे साथ हरगिज नहीं रह सकोगे ए मूसा. So Musa, Khidr alayhi salam said, you will not be able to stay with me. Meaning you will see such matters which you will not understand and you will speak out. That what are you doing? और तुम इल्म खुदावंदी के दूसरे ख़ास इल्म पर हो जिसको अल्लाह ने तुम्हें तालीम फरमाया कि मैं उससे वाकिफ़ नहीं. And then he said, Allah has blessed you with knowledge which I do not know, meaning knowledge of Shariat, halal and haram, jaiz and najaiz. So that is the knowledge of the prophets which they pass on to us. Do this, don't do this. Perform salat, fast, perform hajj, etc. So Khizr alayhi salam said, Allah Ta'ala has given you knowledge which I do not possess the knowledge to that amount. और मैं इल्म खुदावंदी के ख़ास इन पर हूँ जिसको अल्लाह ने मुझे तालीम फरमाया है कि तुम उससे वाकिफ़ नहीं. I said, Allah has blessed me a knowledge which you do not know. That knowledge is different from what you know. So as we will learn further on, that it was concerning the conditions and the states which occur. So in the very beginning, Hazrat Khizr Islam explained that your knowledge is different, my knowledge is different. What you will see from me, it will be not according to your knowledge, so you will not be able to bear it and you will complain, oh, why are you doing this? Oh, why have you done that? मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा कि इंशाअल्लाह तुम मुझे सब्र करने वाला पाओगे. So Musa अलैहिस्सलाम made a promise that inshallah ta'ala you will find me steadfast and I will not question you and I will not ask you why have you done what you have done. So here we learn, for a student to acquire knowledge, he needs sabr, he needs steadfastness, he needs to bear, because all things are not according to his wish and desire. So if he wants to acquire knowledge, he has to bear it. और मैं किसी बात में तुम्हारी मुखालिफत न करूँगा, and I will not go against you in whatever you do and whatever you say. So this is another etiquette of acquiring knowledge. He should make himself complete subservient to his ustad. He should not complain to him, he should not question him, and stay and do what his ustad tells him to do. Musa is being such a great prophet, he's making such a promises that I will be steadfast and whatever you do, I will not question you, I will not complain, why have you done this? Khizr alayhi salam ने उनसे कहा, अच्छा अगर आप मेरे साथ रहना चाहते हो तो मुझसे किसी बात का सवाल न करना जब तक मैं खुद ही उसका जिक्र न करूं. So Khizr Islam made one condition: if you want to stay with me, then don't question me. Whatever you see, whatever I do, don't question me until I myself will explain of the incidents which you will see. But in between, you stay quiet, keep seeing and noticing, don't question me. Musa alayhi salam said, fine, I won't question you and I won't ask you anything in between. So these are the etiquettes of a student, that he should not ask Ustad why and why not while he is learning. बस दोनों रवाना हुए कि समंदर के किनारे किनारे चल रहे थे. आखिर एक कश्ती का उन पर गुजर हुआ तो उन्होंने कश्ती वालों से बातचीत की, उनको सवाल कर लें. So they started to walk on the shore of the sea. While they were walking, one boat came on the seashore. So the Khizr Islam and Musa spoke with the captain of the ship boat, and they asked them to take them on the other side of the sea. कश्ती वालों ने खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम को पहचान लिया, लिहाजा बिला उजरत उनको सवाल कर लिया. So the people, the owners of the boat, they recognized Khizr alaihissalam, so they allowed them to board into the boat without taking any money from them. जब दोनों हजरात कश्ती पर सवार हुए तो देखकर मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम घबरा उठे कि खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम ने कश्ती के तख्तों में से एक तख्ता तोड़ दिया, एक तख्ता नीचे से उखाड़ दिया. So while they were riding on the boat, suddenly Hazrat Khizr alaihissalam, he took out one plank of the boat. From the bottom of the boat, he took out one plank. So naturally, when you take a plank out of the boat from bottom, the water will start to come into the sea and it will drown everyone. बस मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम कहने लगे कि बेचारों ने हमको बिला उजरत तो सवार किया और तुमने उनकी कश्ती को तोड़ डाला. So Musa अलैहिस्सलाम could not stay quiet, and he said, they allowed us to board the ship and they didn't even take any money from us, and this is what you done. You took out the plank and you will drown everyone in the boat. ये तुमने बुरा नागवार काम किया. You have done something very bad. So Musa ﷺ spoke out and he complained, what have you done? You took out the plank, you damaged the boat, and the water will come in the boat, you will drown, everyone will be drowned. खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा कि देखो मैंने पहले ही तुमसे न कहा था कि तुम मेरे साथ नहीं रह सकोगे. So Khizr did not give the answer why he did that, but he said, did I not tell you beforehand that you will not be able to bear with and stay with me? So you can see, you could not stop questioning and you spoke up. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा कि मेरी पकड़ न कीजिए जिसको मैं भूल गया. So Musa अलैहिस्सलाम excused himself that don't reprimand me. I made question, I forgot the promise I had made that I will not ask you anything, so it was out of forgetfulness. Let it go and don't turn me back. और मेरे मामले में तंगी करके मुझको दबाइए नहीं. And he said, don't be harsh upon me and don't turn me back. You can't stay with me, you go back. So give me another chance. Usually student, he makes a mistake, he does something wrong. So same, usually he's not taken out first time. So Islam gave him a chance. Okay, fine. रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाया कि पहली पकड़ तो मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम से भूल में हो गई. So the first time Musa अलैहिस्सलाम spoke out, it was out of forgetful. He did not remember that he had made a promise that whatever you do, whatever I see, I will not question you. But when he saw such amazing thing, he he forgot and he spoke out. What have you done? You will drown everybody in the sea? नीज एक चिड़िया आई और कश्ती के किनारे पर बैठकर उसने समंदर में एक चोंच मारी. Then while they were traveling in the boat, one sparrow came and it sat on the edge of the boat, and then it took a sip of water with his beak. So how much water will go in the sparrow's beak? Just a drop or two. So it took one sip of water from the sea in his beak. खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम ने मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम से कहा कि मेरे और तुम्हारे इल्म ने अल्लाह के इल्म को ऐसा ही कम किया जैसे इस चिड़िया ने इस समंदर के पानी को. So Khizr अलैहिस्सलाम explained to Musa अलैहिस्सलाम, the knowledge we have and the knowledge which Allah Ta'ala has is like the knowledge of Allah Ta'ala is like the water in the sea, and the knowledge we have is like the 1 or 2 drops in the beak of the sparrow. So how much water will that be? Meaning we can that the knowledge of Allah Ta'ala is like the water in the sea, and the knowledge which we have is like 1 or 2 drops in the beak of the sparrow. So meaning our knowledge is very, very less. One can say no knowledge in comparison to knowledge of Allah Ta'ala. उसके बाद ये दोनों हजरत कश्ती से बाहर निकले तो समंदर के किनारे किनारे चल रहे थे कि खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम की निगाह एक बच्चे पर पड़ी जो बच्चों के साथ खेल रहा था. So it comes in a hadith sharif that the people of the ship, the boat, they knew Khizr alayhi salam, they knew what he did, so they did not complain. and they did not become angry with him because they knew that was his work, and whatever he did it for the benefit of the people, and he did it by the command of Allah Ta'ala, not by himself. So the water did not enter into the boat even though the plank was taken out. It's called in Hadith Sharif that they had a bottle, so they took a bottle and they pushed the bottle into that hole so the water may not come up. Nevertheless, the boat did not drown, and they reached where they wanted the other side of the sea, and Musa alayhi salam, Khidir alayhi salam, they came out of the boat and they started to walk on the shore of the sea. While they were walking, Hazrat Khidir alayhi salam saw one young boy was playing with other youth and other young boys. बस खिजर अलैहिस्सलाम ने उसका सर पकड़कर अपने हाथों से उसको उखेड़ फेंका. So Khizr अलैहिस्सलाम, he took hold of one of the boys and he pulled his head out from the neck. Like that, he separated the whole head, the whole neck from the rest of the body, meaning he killed the boy. So Musa अलैहिस्सलाम, he did not expect these type of things. और उसको मार डाला, and the boy died naturally. His neck was separated, his head was separated from the body. So Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam killed him in that way. People around, they didn't say anything because they knew Khizr alayhi salam and what type of things he used to do. So they knew that what he's doing is from Allah Ta'ala. So they did not, otherwise if a person does that, the local people will kill him. Will not let him go just like that. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने उनसे कहा कि क्या बेगुनाह जान को तुमने कत्ल कर दिया बगैर किसी जान के. So here again Musa could not, because these type of things are not permissible in Shariat. Allah taqtulu anfusakum. That, and what Musa अलैहिस्सलाम was observing, what against his knowledge, against the Shariat he used to follow, like it's not permissible for us to do such a thing, to kill someone, etc., or take a plank out of someone's boat, sheep. At least if you know them, you can say to him, be careful where you're going, the king is such and such, he will take your boat away, so don't go there, or something. But we would not take out, it would not be permissible for us to do such a thing. But Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam, he was commanded by Allah Ta'ala to do these things. So nevertheless, Musa alayhi salam did not expect to see such amazing things, that young person not doing anything wrong and he being killed in such a way. So Musa alayhi salam could not stay quiet. He said, what you done? You killed the innocent boy who had not done any sin. So Musa alayhi salam spoke out. ये तो निहायत नागवार काम किया. You have done something very, very bad. The first was concerning mal. The boat is an asset, and this is concerning a life, that you killed the innocent boy, innocent person. You've done something very, very bad. Khizr alayhi salam ने कहा, देखो मैंने तुमसे कहा नहीं था कि तुम मेरे साथ हरगिज़ सब्र न कर सकोगे. Again, Jesus reminded him, did I not tell you the very beginning, you will not be able to bear it what you see with me? But you insisted, and now look, you did not keep your word, and you started to speak out. और ये पहले से भी ज़्यादा सख्त है. And this is more severe than the first time. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा कि उसके बाद अगर मैं तुमसे कुछ सवाल करूं तो मुझको अपने साथ मत रखना. So Musa अलैहिस्सलाम, he accused him, he said that if I ask you one more time, then don't keep me with you, that will be final, meaning give me one more chance. So usually person is given 3 chances. And after that he keeps on to his work, and he usually has to buy, now you separate yourself. So Musa alayhi salam made a request that allow me to stay with you. If I ask you 3rd time, then that is final, and you can separate me from yourself. अब तो मेरी तरफ से उज़र पूरा हो गया. That usually person is given 3 chances. So if somebody keeps doing the same type of mistake 3 times, then his excuse is finished and he can be asked to separate himself. बस दोनों रवाना हुए. यहाँ तक कि जब एक बस्ती के बाशिंदों में आए तो बस्ती वालों से खाना तलब किया. So nothing happened there. Local people, they didn't do anything to Khizr al-Islam because they knew who he was and what his work was. So they accepted and they moved forward. They reached one locality and the food, they didn't have any food with them. So they asked the local people, we are travelers, so make some arrangement for our food. But they were such a stingy people that they did not do any arrangement for their food. They in fact refused. Above. मगर उन्होंने उनकी मेहमानी से इनकार कर दिया. The local people, they refused to feed them, to serve them any food. So they bear it up patiently, they did not quarrel with them and they moved forward. आखिर इसी बस्ती में एक दीवार को ऐसी हालत में पाया कि वो गिरना चाहती थी. So they moved forward, they found in the locality one wall that it was tilting and it was about to fall. यानी झुकी हुई थी, it was tilting and about to fall. बस खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम ने अपने हाथ से इशारा करके उसको सीधा कर दिया. So Khizr al-Islam, he put his hand like plastering it, and just doing that, it became straight, upright. Meaning, he saved it from falling and the house being opening up. तो मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने उनसे कहा कि ऐसे बेमुरव्वतों के पास आए तो न उन्होंने हमको खाना दिया और न हमारी मेहमानी की. So Musa al-Islam spoke up again that we came to such a people, we asked them for food, they did not give us food, they did not serve us anything, and you straightened their wall without taking anything. अगर तुम चाहते तो इस दीवार की दुरुस्त करने पर उजरत ले सकते थे. If you had wished, you should have made a condition with them that if I apply to your wall, what will you give to us? So at least it would teach them a lesson, and we would have some money. That with it we could buy some food, and you did it without taking anything from them. So this is the third time Musa al-Islam spoke up. Khizr al-Islam ने कहा बस ये तीसरी हुई जो सबब फिराक है मेरे और तुम्हारे दरमियान. Enough is enough. This is third time, so this is now time to separate between me and you. So we can learn from here that usually person is given 3 chances. Even after 3 chances, he keeps doing wrong things, he goes against the promise, he breaks the rules, then the main person can say, bye, take your way and separate yourself. लो मैं इसका तुमको मतलब भी समझा देता हूँ. Then before Musa al-Islam separated, he said, I will explain to you the reason of what I done on all these 3 occasions, so it does not keep coming into your mind. Why did he do that? Why did he break the boat? Why did he kill the boy? So I'll explain to you the reason behind it, so you don't have any confusion after you're away from here. Before you leave, I will explain to you the reason for what I did, so that upon which you could not bear and you questioned. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam फरमाया, अल्लाह रहम करे मूसा पर. मेरा तो जी चाहता था कि आप सब्र करते, कि उनके वाक़यात हम पर ज़ाहिर होते. So Rasulullah, after the third incident, Musa separated from Khizr al-Islam. So Rasulullah is saying that may Allah Ta'ala shower His mercy upon Musa al-Islam. If he had stayed quiet, he would have stayed longer with Khizr al-Islam, and we would have come to learn such amazing things. So it shows that Rasulullah does not know about these things, because The Prophet's duty is different, and the duty of such a people is different. So even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam does know regarding takween, regarding what's going to happen, which knowledge Allah has blessed to Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam. हाँ, अब रहा मतलब तो अल्लाह ताला ने फरमाया है कि वो जो कश्ती थी. So then Khidr alayhi salam started to explain to Musa alayhi salam the reason behind the 3 incidents and the action which Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam took. So pehla regarding the boat, breaking the boat, taking a plank out of the boat. जो कश्ती थी तो वो चंद गरीब लोगों की थी जो समंदर में मजदूरी किया करते थे. Khidr alayhi salam said, the boat, it belonged to some poor people who worked in the sea, taking people from one shore to the other, and they would give them some money in doing that. हाँ, लिहाजा मैंने इरादा किया कि उसको ऐबदार बना दूं, क्योंकि उनके आगे एक बादशाह था जो हर सही सालिम कश्ती को जबरन ले लेता था. So Khidr alayhi salam said, it became my intention to make the boat damaged, because where they were going, the king was an oppressive king, and any new boat which came into his locality, he would take it by force. So if this boat was in a good condition, if it has reached that king's locality, then his soldiers, his police, they were on the shore, they would have taken it, and the whole boat would go out of their hand, and the means of sustenance would go out of their hand. So to save their boat, I took out one plank, it became damaged, so when they will check and see it's a damaged boat, they will leave it, they will not take it. So because of that, so I made a small damage to save bigger damage and bigger harm of the whole boat being taken away. So now it makes sense. But if before that, why did he break the boat? Why did he take out the plank? Why did he damage? So that was the reason. Khidr did know also, but Allah informed him that the matter is such and such, so you do this to save these people's boat. This is why Allah says in Quran Sharif, Asa an taqrahu shay'un huwa khayrun lakum. It is possible that you dislike something, but it is better for you. So this is the case. That outwardly it was damaging the boat, but on the other side it saved the whole boat and it saved the means of sustenance. If the boat was taken away, there were poor people, their sustenance would have stopped. So I made the intention to damage the boat because where they were going, they did not know in that locality was such a king that any good condition boat came in his locality, he would by force take it from him, so they would lose their boat. When they will see that the boat is damaged, then they will not take it and they will be able to carry on their work and the means of sustenance. और वो लड़का था, उसके माँ बाप नेक दीनदार थे, बस हमें अंदेशा हुआ कि ये उनको सरकशी और कुफ्र में डाल देगा. Regarding killing the young boy, that his parents were pious people, but I feared that when this boy will become old and out of his love, and he will be against the Deen. So out of his love, he will turn his parents against the Deen also. So they will lose their Iman and they will lose their Deen. So to protect the Iman and Deen of the parents, I killed the boy so that he would not affect the parents and the Deen and Iman would stay safe. लिहाजा मैंने इरादा किया कि उनका परवरदिगार उनको उससे बेहतर साफ और ज़्यादा प्यारा बच्चा बदले में अता फरमाए. So I intended to kill this boy and hope that Allah Ta'ala will give me a better child who will be more caring for the parents and who will not affect the parents in turning them again from the Deen. So again, it's a lesson for us that sometimes a small child dies, the parents feel it very much, especially the mother. But here, we look into the wisdom of Allah Ta'ala, and that Allah Ta'ala knows, Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. So when such a things occur which are against our wish and desire, which displeases us, we should remember these. It will console us, and it will make it easy for us to bear such an incident which occurred. So that was the reason for killing the boy, that if he had grown up, then out of his love, he would have made his parent turn away from the Deen. So we took the boy's life for saving the Deen of the parents. और जो दीवार थी, now concerning the wall, which I made upright, and we didn't take anything from them, और जो दीवार थी तो वो शहर के 2 यतीम बच्चों की थी, और उसके नीचे उनका खजाना था जो बाप छोड़कर मरा था. So concerning the wall, it belonged to 2 orphan boys. They were yatim. Yatim is that boy or a girl who is not baligh yet and his father passes away. So that was the condition, that the house and the wall belonged to 2 orphan boys. And beneath the wall there was a treasure which their father had buried for these children, that when they grow up, then they will take it out. और उनका बाप दीनदार शख्स था, and this boy's father, he was a pious दीनदार person. So if the wall had fallen, the treasure would have been opened up, and you can see the people, you can see their nature, that when they're not prepared to give food to someone, when the treasure is opened up, with the property for the boys, they were taken for themselves. So that is safeguarded. I made the wall upright so that it does not open up, and when the time will come, in some way Allah will inform the boys regarding the treasure, and they will take it out and use it for themselves. लिहाजा अल्लाह ताला ने चाहा कि दोनों बच्चे अपनी जवानी को पहुंच जाएं. So Allah intended that these 2 boys were small at the moment, they reached their youth, they reached the age of maturity, and somehow Allah will inform them and take out their treasure and use it for themselves. और तुम्हारे रब की मेहरबानी से अपना खजाना खुद निकाल लें. और मैंने ये काम अपने इख्तियार से नहीं किए. In the end, Hazrat Khizr Islam said, I have not done what I have done by my own intention, meaning I have been commanded by Allah. You are commanded to spread the deen to people, I have been commanded to do these acts. So because of that, I have done it, which you could not bear, and you questioned. ये है मतलब इन बातों का जिन पर सब्र करने की तुम में ताकत न हुई. So these are the incidents and the reasons behind this incident which you could not bear and you questioned. If you had not questioned, you would have stayed longer and you would have seen even more such amazing things. So nevertheless, the purpose of mentioning here for us is the eagerness of Musa alayhi salam. Being such a great prophet, Allah Ta'ala is conversing with him, speaking with directly, and he's such a great prophet, but even then when he came to learn that someone is more knowledgeable than me, he became eager and he asked Allah Ta'ala for permission to meet him. Allah also did not stop him, showed him the path, and he traveled on foot and met Khizr alayhi salam. So he said, Alhamdulillah, we also come from our homes. So that is also in a way, we have, like Musa alayhi salam traveled, he bared the trouble of the journey in the same way. So it applies to us also. It shows the importance of knowledge in sight of Allah Ta'ala, in sight of Musa alayhi salam, that to acquire knowledge, he traveled and bared the trouble which came on his way. और चूँकि इंसान का फजल व कमाल इन्हीं में मुनहसर है, a person's honor and respect is in his knowledge and practicing upon the knowledge. Usually in the worldly matters, if somebody's wealth is respected and honored, somebody's good body person, and because of that, but in sight of Allah Ta'ala, in sight of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the respect and honor of a person is because of knowledge. The more the knowledge he has, more practicing he is on that knowledge, the greater his respect and honor in sight of Allah Ta'ala. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The most honored amongst you in the sight of Allah Ta'ala is who's most fearful of Allah Ta'ala. So the fear of Allah Ta'ala and practicing the commands of Allah can only occur when the person has knowledge of the commands of Allah Ta'ala. और इल्म सबसे ज़्यादा अम्बिया को होता है. So the knowledge of Deen, the prophets, the Messenger of Allah Ta'ala, they have the most knowledge of Deen, like Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Quran Sharif, we put the prophets mentioned, then we find the quality of knowledge being mentioned. Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ. Musa alayhi salam, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ شُدَّهُ وَاسْتَوَى آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Yaqub alayhi salam, وَإِنَّهُ لَذُو عِلْمٍ لِمَا عَلَّمْنَاهُ. Yusuf alayhi salam, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ شُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. إنك لا تدري ما الإيمان إنك لا تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلنا نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا. So these are the prophets. Allah Ta'ala mentions the sifat of ilm in these prophets. So this is the first knowledge given to the prophets. Knowledge they practice themselves and then they propagate that knowledge to people, and through that we acquire hidayat. In our case, our hidayat is in Quran Sharif and Hadith Sharif, and the Masais which are derived from which is called fiqh. और इल्म सबसे ज़्यादा अम्बिया को होता है. The prophets of Allah Ta'ala, because Allah Ta'ala gives them knowledge directly, they have the most knowledge of Deen. लिहाजा सब आदमियों से ज़्यादा कमाल और फजल अम्बिया को है. So because their knowledge is greater than all the rest of the people, their honor and respect is higher than any other human being. So a person's state, honor, respect in sight of Allah Ta'ala is due to ilm. More person has a practical knowledge, the greater his respect and honor in sight of Allah Ta'ala. और अम्बिया में सबसे ज़्यादा इल्म सैयदना मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को हासिल है. And then out of prophets, the most knowledge is blessed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Innama utitu ilm al-awwalin wal-akhirin. I've been blessed with the knowledge of the people of the past and the people who will come later. So knowledge of Deen, Allah Ta'ala gave to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was highest than any other prophet. चुनांचे आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से रिवायत है कि आपने फरमाया मुझको अगलों पिछलों सब का इल्म अता हुआ है. So Rasulullah said, إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُ إِلْمَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَالْآخِرِينَ. I have been blessed with the knowledge of the people of before, Adam alayhi salam, Abdul Isa alayhi salam, and those people who will come after me. Allah has blessed me knowledge which other people have not been blessed with. And because of that, the status of Rasulullah sallallahu is higher amongst all the prophets also. लिहाजा हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फजल व कमाल में तमाम अम्बिया अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम से बढ़े हुए हैं. And because of knowledge and then practicing according to that knowledge, Rasulullah's honor and respect is higher than all the prophets. So the knowledge is counted in the sight of Allah Ta'ala, which is practical. Just knowledge on the tongue, but there is not practical, it is not counted as knowledge in sight of Allah Ta'ala. Allah says to people of Makkah, فَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ تَأْمُلُونِّ عَبُدُ أَيُّهَا الْجَاهِلُونَ. Allah says them Jahilun. Halakya Rasulullah had informed them of Tawheed, so they knew Tawheed, but because they were not practicing Tawheed, They did not believe in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala, even though they had the knowledge of oneness of Allah Ta'ala. But because they did not adopt it, so Allah calls them Jahilun. So the knowledge which is not practical, and the person does not practice upon it, then in sight of Allah that person is Jahil. He knows 5 times Salat, but does not perform 5 times Salat, then he's Jahil. We eat and we know it's sunnah to wash our hands, but he does not wash his hands and he just eats without washing his hand, so it can be said he's Jahil. Any knowledge which is not put into practice on his time, then that is waste of knowledge, that is ignorance, and in the sight of Allah Ta'ala and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that person is counted to be Jahil, ignorant person. The knowledge is only counted as knowledge when it is practiced upon. Somebody has £1,000 in his pocket, so the purpose of money is to fulfill his needs. So he has £1,000 in his pocket, but he's hungry, he does not eat. Oh, my money will become less. Oh, my money will become less. He stays hungry, he does not eat. Will you call him wealthy, or will you call him poor person? Because he's not using the money for the purpose it is for. So in the same way, when the knowledge is not used for practice, it is waste of knowledge and it's ignorance. जैसा कि हम ताला फरमाते हैं तिलका रुसुल फद्दलना बअदहुम अला बअद, इन रसूलों में हमने बाज़ को बाज़ पर फजीलत दी है। बाज़ रसूल वो हैं जिनसे अल्लाह ताला ने कलाम किया और बाज़ को दर्जात में बुलंदी बख्शी. So regarding the prophets, Allah Ta'ala says that we have made the prophets of different caliber. To some we have elevated the position, like Musa alayhi salam. Allah Ta'ala spoke directly with Musa alayhi salam. हज़रत सहीहैन बुखारी मुस्लिम में हज़रत मुआविया रज़ी अल्लाह तआला से रिवायत है कि रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया कि जिस शख्स के साथ अल्लाह ताला बेहतराई चाहते हैं तो उसको दीन की फहम और इल्म अता फरमा देते हैं. So we do not know Allah Ta'ala what intended with us, but when Allah intends goodness for someone, then Allah Ta'ala gives him the knowledge of Deen and understanding of Deen and the value of Deen and practice of Deen. So any person who has been blessed with the knowledge of Deen, knowledge of Quran, Hadith and Sunnah, and he practices upon that, is a sign Allah has favored him and Allah has chosen him for special task of elevating his position. So in sight of Allah Ta'ala, wealth, position, pretty face, good health, these things are no criteria in sight of Allah Ta'ala of being of high status. In sight of Allah Ta'ala, a sign of being of high status and honor is knowledge, practical knowledge. That person is blessed with the knowledge, he practices upon that knowledge, so it's a sign Allah has favored him over other people. और मैं तो सिर्फ तक़सीम करने वाला हूँ. Regarding Rasulullah himself says that it is not me who gives knowledge to people. The knowledge Allah Ta'ala reveals to me, I speak it out, I spread it. Allah Ta'ala gives to the people according to ability, according to their effort, the amount of knowledge from which they benefit. Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah Alayhi कहते हैं, so what is this knowledge which Allah Ta'ala blessed to Anbiya alayhi salam? In our case to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi salam, he was descended. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُم مِّنِّي هُدًى فَمَن تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. If hidayat comes to you from me, whoever will follow that hidayat, then he will have no fear, he will have no regret. So in our case, that hidayat is in Quran Sharif and Hadith Sharif. So we learn Quran Sharif, we learn Hadith Sharif, and we understand the Quran Sharif, we practice upon Quran Sharif, then it's a sign that person has been favored. More persons given tawfiq to practice on his knowledge, the greater the sign that he has been chosen by Allah Ta'ala and he has been favored by Allah Ta'ala. इमाम गज़ाली रहमतुल्लाह अलैह कहते हैं कि ये जो इल्म शरइया है, यानी नॉलेज ऑफ शरीयत, कुरान हदीस एंड फ़िक़्ह, तो अम्बिया से बतरीक़ तक़लीद अख्ज़ किए हुए हैं. So this knowledge has been passed upon to us through the prophets. Whatever revelation wahi came upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of the Quran Sharif, straight away he would recite in front of the Sahaba, and the memory was so strong that it would become in their mind, and they would memorize it straight away. And then Rasulullah would make someone to write the words which have been recited, and the Rasulullah would teach like we teach in our madrasa, Hifz class. So Sahaba used to learn Quran Sharif directly from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the knowledge of Deen is passed on. और ये किताबुल्लाह और सुन्नत रसूलुल्लाह के पढ़ने से और सुनने के बाद उनके मानी समझने से हासिल होते हैं. So the knowledge of Deen in our case is learning of Quran Sharif, learning of Sunnat, and learning of Masail, and then practicing upon it. और इसी से दिल के औसाफ कामिल होते हैं. And through the knowledge, the heart becomes perfect and corrected. As mentioned before, just like food we eat, then the nourishment, it goes in our body stays healthy and strong. In the same way for our heart, the heart does not need food. What it needs is the knowledge of Deen, remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. So the place of knowledge is the heart. This is why you see the school books, they are kept by the legs. In a satchel and a bag, where the school student keep their books. Like this, or behind the back, like a burden. And the kitabs of Deen, where there's a student of Deen, keep the kitab by the heart. Quran Sharif, you won't see any sensible person lagging, but you will see him keeping by the heart Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif. So it's a practical dua, that the place of knowledge is heart. Ya Allah, I'm putting the Quran Sharif by my heart, put it inside my heart. So the learning of Quran Sharif, first we learn to recite Quran Sharif looking inside. Then we memorize Quran Sharif. Then we understand the meaning of Quran Sharif. Then we practice and propagate. These are the rights of the Quran Sharif, and this is how one can increase in the knowledge of Quran Sharif step by step. और इसी से कल्ब के औसाफ कामिल होते हैं. And by knowledge, the heart is corrected. In our heart, just like out good actions and bad actions, there are good character and bad character. The bad character, hatred, jealousy, lust, passion, greed of the world, greed of the wealth, anger. So these are the bad traits of the nafs, just like outer traits. And the good qualities of the heart, generosity, just, forbearance, sabr, qana'at, contentness. So these are the good qualities. But to acquire the good qualities, one has to have the knowledge of these, and then practice upon them. Then these qualities will come in the heart, and the bad traits will come out of the heart. और दिल को बीमारियों से सलामती हासिल होती है. By acquiring knowledge and then practicing upon that knowledge, it will correct the heart and it will cure the heart. Just like a body, we become ill, we go to doctor, he prescribes medicine, and we keep taking the medicine slowly and gradually, the body recovers, the illness goes, strength comes in the body. Exactly same, the knowledge is a cure and treatment of the heart from bad traits, bad habits, and for inculcating, acquiring good habits. So we should be grateful. Allah has given us a ready-made chance in the house of Allah Ta'ala to come acquire knowledge of Quran. We should acquire a knowledge so strong that it becomes beneficial for ourselves. And the benefit of knowledge is practicing. That's the first benefit. And then given tawfiq to the khidmat of Deen, that is a sign that person has been favored by Allah Ta'ala who has been given tawfiq to practice upon it and must step forward to make khidmat of Deen. That is a special favor upon that person we should value. And for that, firstly, he should have a sincere intention, that is acquiring knowledge to practice upon it. And secondly, he makes a systematic effort, as is the system of madrasa. And thirdly, he is respectful concerning all the matters of acquiring knowledge. He is respectful to the teachers, he is respectful to the Quran Sharif and Kitab, he is respectful to the benches and the everything. The knowledge is acquired by effort, and the blessing and barakat of knowledge is acquired by respect and honor. So more person is respectful, more he cares for the means of knowledge, the greater the blessing, and the blessing of knowledge, barakat of knowledge is given tawfiq to practice on that knowledge, is given tawfiq to propagate that knowledge. It's a sign there is a barakat in his knowledge and it is benefiting him. And on the other hand, somebody is hafiz of Quran, alim of Quran, sunnah, but he does not practice upon it, he does not make khidmat of Deen. It's a sign that he has been deprived from the barakat of knowledge. And this occurs usually by being disrespectful. So this is more important, that a student, he should be respecting everything which is attached with the knowledge, even though he may be weak in his learning, disrespectful, inshallah ta'ala, he will not be deprived. Allah ta'ala give us tawfiq to value this chance and acquire knowledge in such a way it is beneficial for us, our family, and to the people, so that it becomes a means of pleasure of Allah ta'ala and reaching Jannat, which is our ultimate goal. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.